Hello everyone, welcome back to my new video. In this we will solve another example of canonical LR parser. This is example 2. We have done the example 1 and the theory part in the previous one. So we have this example. Check whether the following grammar is CLR grammar or not. Also make a goto graph. So with steps we will complete the solution. Steps to follow: first, then augmented grammar, then the closure, then we will have the goto, and then we'll write the shift and reduce entries in the LR1 parsing table. Okay, because of which we don't have to go to the follow part. Okay, so let us proceed to the solution part. So we have the three productions: S gives E equals E and S gives A, then E gives E plus T and E gives T, and T gives T star A and T gives A. I said two productions because there are two productions of each non-terminal. Okay, so let us first of all find the first. And first of terminal is terminal itself. So first of A equals to A, and first of equals to A is equals to only. And then for the plus also, the first of plus would be equal to plus. And for the star also, first of star would be equal to the star. Okay, so first of plus equals to plus, and let us write for the star. So first of star equals to star. Okay, now let us find the first of non-terminals now. So first of S, which will be equal to the first of E union first of A. Okay, and if you don't know how to find the first and follow, then you should watch my video on first and follow for sure. Okay, so for this we have to find the first of E. So let us find that. So first of E is first of E union first of T. So that is just first of T only. So for that we have to find the first of T. So first of T equals to first of T union first of A, which is only first of A, which is A only, as we have found it earlier. Okay, so let us write it down, which would be only first of A, that is A only, that is the terminal. So as this is the first of T, so as it is we will write it in the first of E also, because first of E equals to first of E union first of T, which is only first of T, that is small a. Okay, same with the first of S, which was equal to first of E union first of A. So first of E is small a only, and small a union small a is small a only. So the first of all the non-terminals, we got it as small a, the terminal. Okay, so now let us proceed ahead to the augmented grammar. Let me just zoom this out. Okay, so now we will have to write a new starting symbol. So as we have the starting symbol as S, I will have the new starting symbol as S dash, which will give me the production as S dash gives S, and under that I will have the productions of S, and then the productions of E, and then productions of T. Okay, so augmented grammar. So first of all, we will have the new starting symbol, that is S dash, then I will write the S production, then E, then T. Okay, so let us write it down. S dash gives S. Now the productions of S first of all. So S gives E equals to E, then S gives small a, then the two productions of E. So E gives E plus T, and then another production of E, that is E gives T. Okay, so E gives T. Okay, now we have the two productions of T. So first of all, T gives T star A, and then another production as T gives A. Okay, so T gives A. Now we have completed the augmented grammar, but we have to name the production. So from starting 0 till the end. So S dash gives S would be my 0th, because we have to use it in the reduce, so I will directly write it as R0, R1, R2, R3, R4, R5 and R6. Okay, we have solved two steps of our solution. First we found the first, and second step we wrote the augmented grammar. Find all the states. Okay, and by using those we will have the entries in the LR1 parsing table, or we can say CLR parsing table. So third step, LR1 set of items. Okay, so first of all, state 0, that is I0, that would be the state with the new starting symbol, that is S dash. So it would be S dash gives dot S, and as we have a non-terminal after the dot, we will write the productions of that non-terminal. Okay, so we have the dot S, so we will write the productions of S, that is S gives E equals to E and S gives A. So S gives E equals to E and S gives A. Now we have E, that is a non-terminal after dot, so we'll write the productions of E also. So let us write it down. So what is the production of E, which was E gives E plus T and E gives T. Okay, so E gives E plus T and E gives T. Now we have a big problem over here. There is a loop. That is, once I write the E production again, I will have the E gives dot E plus T again, and we will have to write it again and again. So for solving this, we have this very important example. I will explain this. But before that, let us write the productions of T also, because there is a loop in T's production also. So T gives dot T star A, and another production as T gives A. Okay, so here also there is a production loop. So over here we have to write the look ahead. So by default, the dollar symbol is the look ahead of the first S dash production, or the new starting symbols production. Okay, so by default, first look ahead. Okay, so now we got the next two productions because of the dot S, and we have the next element after S as dollar. So we write the first of dollar in the look ahead of SS production, which is dollar only, that is first of dollar. Okay, first of dollar, and in the next also we have to write the dollar only. Okay, now in this part, E gives dot E, which was due to S's first production, and we have the next element as equals to. So I wrote first of equals to. Now this second production of E was also because of it. Now T was because of this E's production, and next element is equals to. So I'll write the equals to in the next parts. Okay, now there are loop in E's production and T's production. So now let me just explain it over here. So as if we write it again and again, then how will it look? Okay, so E gives dot E plus T comma look ahead as equals to, then we will write it again. So E gives dot E plus T with look ahead equals to, then again, then again, then again. So to resolve this issue, we will write the look ahead of the next element of that looping non-terminal. Okay, so let me just write it down so that you can take a screenshot, or you can make a note of it as important, so that you don't forget this during exams. Okay, so let me just write the first of next element. So first of next element, which was plus, is plus only, so I write the plus with the slash. Okay, because we have the look ahead of the E production as equals to as well as the plus sign. Okay, and same with the T, as we wrote the next element of T, that was equals to slash plus, so we write both as look ahead, and we have the looping again with the T. Okay, so let me just write how it was a loop. So t gives dot t star a, so we would have written the t again, then we would have written the t again, and then again. So for solving this, we would do the same. That is, we will find the first of next element and we will write the look ahead as first of the next element, which was star. So I wrote slash star in the look ahead part of t's production. T gives dot t star a, and again for the t gives dot a, because once it was in loop there was also the production of t gives dot a. Okay, so now what we will do is I will just make a note of it over here so that you can take a screenshot. So to avoid repetition, write it only one time and then add the first of the next element as the look ahead in that production. Okay, so if I got my each production because of the ss production having dot s, so I will write the first of next element, which was first of equals to, which is equals to only. Okay, so with the same logic I did it with the t's production also. Now you can like take a screenshot or write a note on your own and mark it as important, because you might encounter a question like this, and if you don't know how to solve it, then you would be losing those marks, which would be a disappointment. Okay, so let us proceed ahead with the second state, that is the I1 state. Okay, so I1 state, which will be I0 on S goes to I1, S dash gives S dot and the look ahead as dollar, and state completed as we have the dot at the end of the production. Okay, now let us have our I2 state. So it will be I0 on capital E. So I0 on capital E goes to I2 state, and we will have two productions in this state. That is the first one, S gives dot E equals to E, and another E's production dot E plus T. So dot is shifted towards right from the E in the S production and E production. So we have written the productions with the look ahead. So we will mark a tick over here. Now we have to solve for the small a part. There are two productions with the small a. So we will have I3, which will be I0 on small a goes to I3. Okay, so let me just write I3 over here. Now we have the productions. S gives a dot and T gives a dot, and we will write the look ahead too. So S was having dollar and T is having equals to slash plus slash star. Okay, so now let us leave a mark over here so that we will come to know that it is completed. Now we have to solve for the T part, because we have two productions with T after the dot. So I will write I0 on T goes to I4 state. So I4 is I0 on T goes to I4, and we will have the T's production. So E gives T dot with the look ahead equals to and plus. Okay, and then T gives T dot star A with the look aheads. Okay, so now let us mark these two also. So we have completed that. I1 is already completed, so we will go for the I2 part. So I2 equals to, it will have the SS production. S gives E equals to dot E, and we will write the productions of E, as we will be having dot before the non-terminal E. Okay, so I2 equals to goes to I5. So S gives E equals to dot E with the look ahead dollar. Now as we have E after dot, we will write the productions of E. So E gives dot E plus T with the look ahead, and E gives dot T with the look ahead equals to and plus. Okay, now because of this production, we have to write the productions of T, as we have dot before non-terminal T. So I have written the productions of t as well with the look aheads. Okay, so now we'll proceed to the next one. So IFI's production is this. You can take a screenshot, you can make a note of it. Okay, so let us proceed ahead. So this is completed. Now I2 on plus. So let us write it over here. So I2 on plus goes to I6. So let us just make I6 over here too. Now we will have the productions. E gives E plus dot T with look ahead equals to N plus, and we will also write the productions of T as we will be having dot before T. Okay, so E gives E plus dot T with look ahead equals to N plus. Now we will have the productions of T. So T gives dot T star A and T gives A, and I will have the first of the next element of the T, which was the look ahead itself. So I have written the whole look ahead and star to avoid the looping. Okay, so now we have completed this one. Dot is at the end in these productions, so those are completed. Now the first production is also completed, so we will proceed to the next production. So I4 on star goes to I7. Okay, so let me just show you the production. Okay, so we have it like T gives T star dot A, and we have the look ahead as equals to plus and star. Okay, now we have completed this one. We'll mark this and proceed to the next one. So I5 on capital E, we have the two productions, SS and E's production. So I8, so I5 on E goes to I8. Okay, so let me just mark I8 over here. Now we will write the productions. So S gives E equals to E dot with look ahead dollar. So S gives E equals to E dot with look ahead as dollar, and then E gives E dot plus T comma look ahead as equals to N plus. Okay, so we don't have to write any productions because we don't have any non-terminal after the dot. Okay, so now we'll proceed to the next one, that is for the T. So I5 on T will give me the I9 state. So let us proceed ahead and write it down. So I5 on T goes to I9 with production E gives T dot and the look ahead as it is. Okay, so I made a little mistake over here because these two productions were because of E, and the next element of the E is dollar. So we will have dollar in place of equals to. So over here also dollar, over here also dollar, and for the next also we have to write dollar. So now this is having the correct look ahead. So now I'll write the look ahead of this production, which will be dollar and plus. Okay, so now for the next production we had T gives T dot star A comma the look ahead as dollar plus and star. Okay, so now we will mark the first production as complete because we have the dot at the end of the production. Okay, so this first production is completed. Now let us proceed ahead. So we have completed for the T also, so we will mark these. Now I5 on small a will give me a new state. Okay, so I5 on small a, so I5 on small a goes to I10 over here also. Okay, so it will give me T gives A dot with look ahead as dollar plus and star. Okay, and this is completed now. So let us go ahead and solve for the I6. So I6 on T will have a complete state that will be like E gives E plus T dot with look ahead equals to N plus. Okay, and another production as T gives T dot star A, because these two are having T after the dot. Okay, so let us write it down. So I6 on T goes to I11. So we will write I11 there also, and it will be like E gives E plus T dot with look ahead equals to n plus, and T gives T dot star A with look ahead equals to plus n star. Okay, so now the first production is completed. So before that, let us mark over here so that we will know that we have completed those two productions. So now we will solve for the next one. So I6 on small a goes to I12, which will give me the production as T gives A dot with look ahead equals to plus and star, which is a little bit different than I10 because there is difference in the look ahead part. Okay, so let us proceed for the I7. So I7 on small a goes to I13. Okay, so let us write it down. So I13, which will be T gives T star A dot with look ahead equals to plus and star, and as this is a complete state, I will just mark this down. Okay, so now let us go to the next state, which will be I14. So I14, so let us go to I7. We have found the state for this production. Now in I8, the first is completed but the second is remaining. So for the second part, I write I8 on plus goes to E gives E plus dot T. Okay, so plus goes to I14. Okay, so now this is E goes to E plus dot T with look ahead equals to n plus, but as we have a non-terminal after dot, we will write the productions of that. So we have to write the productions of T. So for T's first production, I write dot T star A. Okay, and the look ahead same as the first of next elements. So equals to n plus and equals to n plus. And to avoid the repetition, I will write the first of star. Okay, as we have discussed earlier. We corrected our error in I5 state because instead of equals to, there was supposed to be a dollar. As we have updated over here, we forgot to write it in the I8 part. So let us just make this dollar. Okay, so now our look ahead would be dollar plus instead of equals to plus. Okay, so let us update this. So we have to write dollar over here too, and then again in the third production. Okay, so let us proceed ahead. So let us see if we have completed for the productions of I8. If so, then we will proceed to the next state. Okay, so I8 had only two productions, out of which we have completed both. Okay, so let us proceed to the I9. So I9 on star goes to I15. Okay, so let us write it down. So T gives T star dot A, and we will write the look ahead as dollar plus and star. Okay, so T gives T star dot A and the look ahead as dollar plus and star. Okay, so we have completed I9. I10 is already completed. I11's first production is completed, so we will proceed to second production of I11. Okay, so I11 on star goes to a state. I think we have already completed that. So we had I11 as T star dot A with look ahead equals to plus and dollar, which is already in the I7 part. Okay, so what I can do is I11 on star goes to I7. I can write it like that. We have to write the new states for the productions which are not completed earlier. So this I11 state is completed now. So we will proceed to the I12, which is already completed. Now 13 also is completed. So I14. So I14 on T. So let us write it down. So I14 on T goes to I16. So let us write it down. So I16, which will have two productions. First, E gives E plus T dot, okay, with look ahead, dollar and plus, and another as T gives T star A with dot after the T, okay, and look ahead, dollar plus and star, okay. So now we have completed for the I16. So let me just write I16 over here, okay. Now we will proceed ahead. So we will first check for the I14 whether it is completed or not, and if it is, then we will proceed to the next state. So those two are completed. Now let us go for I14 on small a. So which is exactly as I10 with dollar plus and star, okay. So I directly wrote it as I14 on small a goes to I10, okay. So now we have for I15 on small a goes to T gives T star A dot with look ahead dollar plus and star. Let me check if we have already completed this production somewhere. Okay, so we have T star A dot with look ahead dollar plus and star. So we will have a new state in place of that. So it will give me I17. Okay, so I17, which will be having the productions as T gives T star A dot, T star A dot, and look ahead as dollar plus and star, plus and star, okay. Let me just correct this, it is I17, okay. And the next state is I16 on star goes to I15, okay. So I16's production was T star dot A, which is same as that, and the look ahead are also same, that are dollar plus and star, dollar plus and star. So I directly wrote it as I15, okay. So the maximum number of states are 17 in this grammar, okay. So now let us proceed to the next step, that is the construction of the goto graph, okay. So goto graph, we just need the source and the destination, and on the arrow we just have to show by which terminal or non-terminal that destination was reached, okay. So we always start with I0. So let us make I0 over here, okay. Now we got I1 when we passed S on I0. So I will have the destination as I1 with S on top of the arrow, okay. Then I2 was got when we passed E. So E and I2. Then for I3 I have small a. So I will have the destination as I3 and small a on top of the arrow, okay. Now let us proceed to the next state. So we got I4 when we passed T on I0. So source I0, destination I4, and T on top of the arrow, okay. So let us write it as I4. Let us proceed for the next one. So we got I5 when we passed equals to on I2. So okay, so it was I2. Let me just scramble this out, okay. So now on passing equals to on I2, I got I5. So source was I2, destination was I5, and equals to on top of the arrow, okay. Now for the next production, what we have is source is I2 plus on the arrow and destination as I6. So let us make plus on the arrow and I6 as the destination one. Okay. Now we'll proceed to the next state. So we have I7 when we passed star on I4. So star on I4, we got the destination as I7. Okay. Now for the next state, we got I8 when we passed E in I5. So we will make an arrow, write E on top of the arrow and I8 as the destination. Okay. So now we got I9 when we passed T on I5. So we will make an arrow, have T on top of it and I9 as the destination. Okay. So now we got I10 when we passed small a in I5. So we will have a small a with the destination as I10. Okay. So now let us go for I11 state. So we got I11 when we passed capital T on I6. So capital T on arrow and I11 as the destination. Okay. So now let us see for I12. When we passed small a, we got I12. So arrow destination is I12. Okay. So now let us proceed for the I13. So I7 on A goes to 13. So I7 on small a goes to destination as I13 state. Okay. Now we will go for the next one. So we have the next thing as I8 on plus goes to I14. So I8 on plus goes to I14. So plus on top of the arrow and I14 as the destination part. Okay. Now let us see for the next part. So we have I9 on star goes to I15. So I9 on star goes to destination as I15. Okay. So star on top of the arrow and I15 as the destination. Now for the next part, we have I11 on star goes to I7. So I11 on star goes to I7. Let me just make an arrow and star on top of that. Okay. So now for the next part, we have I14 on T goes to I16. So I14 over here. And we have to write capital T on top of the arrow with destination as I16 state. Okay. So I16 state is destination and T on top of the arrow. Now let us check for the next production. So we have I14 on small a goes to I10. We might make a new state like this I10, but this is wrong. We just had to connect the previous I10 with this I14. Okay. So for the next one, I15 on small a goes to I17. So on arrow A and destination is I17. Okay. For the next part, I16 on star goes to I15. So I16 is over here and I15 is over here. So just making the arrow and having the star on top of it. So we have completed the goto graph. Look, we had 17 states and it all started from the I0 with reference to how we got that state. We wrote it. Okay. So now let us have the LR1 or CLR pass table construction. We can directly write over here in the answer sheet as pass table construction because we have been doing the CLR solution only. Okay. Now we will make the action and go to part and the states. We will have the 17 states and then we will enter the values of shift and reduce. Okay. So let us write action, then go to over here. Under go to we will have the non-terminals and under action we will have the terminals with dollar. Okay. Now we have the states over here. These states will start from 0 till the I17. So 17 state. So let us write the terminals plus star equals to A and dollar, and we have the non-terminal as S, E and T. We will write the states now, and we will make the cells. Okay, so after making the cells, we will start writing the entries inside the table. Okay, so first of all, we will write except under the dollar and in state 1, because that's where the original starting symbol was ended. Okay, you can see I1 and S dot. So in 1 under dollar I have to write except. So let me just write except over here. Okay, now we just have to see by doing what we got which state, and under action we have to write the SI, where I is the number of state, and in the go to part we just have to write the I part, that is the number of the state. So I0 on S goes to 1, then I0 on E goes to 2, and I0 on small a goes to I3. So under small a I have to write S3. Okay, because under action we have to write it as SI. Okay, so I0 on capital T goes to I4, so only 4 over here. Okay, so now I2 on equals to goes to I5. So under equals to, in the I2 state I have to write the S5. Okay, so let us write it down. So S5 over here. Okay, so now we have completed for the I2 part when it goes to equals to. Okay, so now for the next part, I2 on plus goes to I6. So under plus I have to write S6. Okay, so for the next part we have I4 on star goes to I7. So I4, and under the star I will write S7. Okay, so now for the next part, I5 on capital E goes to 8. So I5, and under the capital E cell I will write 8 directly because it is under the go to part. Okay, so let us write 8 over here. Now let's see where that I9 state will be. So under T in I5 only I have to write 9. Okay, so now for the next part, that is for the 10th state, I5 on small a goes to 10. So I5 on small a. So small a is over here. So I will write S10 over here because it is under action. Okay, so let us write S10 over here. So now for the next part, we will see where the state 11 will go. So I6 and under T. So I6 under capital T goes to 11. So let us write it down, 11. Now let's see for the 12th state. Okay, so I6 on small a, I6 on small a goes to S12. Now for the next part, that is the 13th state, I7 on small a, I7 on small a goes to S13. Okay, now for the next part, so I8 on plus goes to I14. So I8 on plus goes to S14 because this is under the action. Okay, now for the next part, we have I9 on star goes to I5. So I9 on star goes to S15. So let us write it down, S15. Now for the next part, let us see. We have I11 on star goes to I7. So under star in I11 state, I will write S7. Okay, so under star in I11 state, I have to write S7. And you are able to see that S7 is also under the I4 star part. So I14 on T goes to the I16. So I14 is over here, and I will write 16 under the T part. Okay, I14 on T goes to the 16th state. So I will write 16 directly. Okay, So now for the next part, we have I14 on small a goes to I10. So I14 on small a goes to S10. You can see S10 is in the same lane. You can see in the fifth straight lane. Okay, so now I15 on small a goes to I17. So I15 on small a goes to S17 because it is under action part. Okay, so now for the next one, we have the 17th state also. I forgot to write it earlier. So now I16 on star goes to I15. I16 on star goes to star, the second cell. So I write S15. Okay, so now we have completed this shift entries. We'll proceed to the reduce entries. And for the CLR part, we don't have to like see the follow of that. We just have to write by seeing the look ahead of the complete states. So let us write shift entries. We have to see the states. Okay, and for the reduce entries, we will see the look ahead part. So reduce entries equals to look ahead. Okay, so now let us start putting the reduce part or reduce entries. So first of all, we will see where do we have the complete states. So we have the complete state over here. So S gives A dot is which production? We have marked it earlier. So S gives A dot is R2. So let us write R2 over here. Okay, so R2. Now we have T gives A dot. So T gives A is the R6 reduce entry. Now for the next part, E gives T dot is which production? R4. So the R4 entry. Now for the next complete state, no, we don't have any over here. On the second page, we can see no. In I8, yeah, we have one. So S gives E equals to E. This is a complete state. So we'll see which reduce entry it is. It is R1. So we will have R1 over here. Then we have E gives T dot, which is R4 state. E gives T. Okay. Now next one is T gives A, which is R6 state. So we will write R6 over here. Now for the next part, in I11, we have E gives E plus T dot. So this is R3. Now in the I12, we have T gives A dot, which is R6 again. So R6. In I13, we have one complete state. T gives T star A dot. So this is our fifth reduce entry. So R5. Okay. So now for the next part, we have complete state over here. E gives E plus T dot in the I16. And this is R3. Okay. So R3. Now we have complete state over here. So T gives T star A dot, which is R5. So I'll write R5 over here. Okay. So now we just have to enter the reduce entries. And if two entries coincide in the same cell, then it is not a CLR grammar. Otherwise, it will be a CLR grammar. Okay. So let us write from here. So in I3 cell, I have to write R2. So let us write it down. So in 3 and under dollar, I have to write R2. Okay. So now for the next part, we have to write R6 under equals to plus and star. So under equals to plus and star, I have to write R6. Okay, so we have completed for this part. We'll proceed to the next one. Okay, so in I4 it was, we have to write R4 under equals to and plus. So equals to and plus is over here. So R4, R4. Okay, so now for the next part, we have in the second sheet R1 under dollar in I8. So we have to write R1 over here. For the next part, we have to write R4 under dollar and plus in I9. So let us write it down. R4, R4. Okay, so for the next part, let us see. We have to write R6 under dollar plus and star. Okay, so dollar plus and star R6. Okay, so for the next part, we have to write R3 under equals to and plus. R3 under equals to and plus. So R3 over here, R3 and R3. Okay, so for the next part, we have I12 under equals to plus and star. I will write R6 over here. So R6 and R6. Okay, now for the next part, let us see. We have R5 under the same equals to plus and star. R5 in all these three. Okay, so for the next part, we have R3 under dollar and plus in I16. So under dollar and plus. Okay, so let us write it down. R3 and R3. Okay, now for the next part, we have dollar plus and star. I have to write the R5. Okay, so let us write it down. So R5, then R5 over here and over here also, as we have to write it under dollar plus and star. Okay, so now as we have completed writing the input in the CLR parsing table, we can conclude that as there were no double entries, the given grammar was a CLR grammar. Okay, so we can write that conclusion and we can end the answer. So let us write it down. So we have completed the augmented grammar, then we found the states, then we wrote the goto, and then we also filled the CLR parsing table, and from that table we can see there were no double entries, so we are giving the reason as, therefore as there are no double entries in the CLR parsing table, CLR or LR1 table or parsing table, you can say any of those. So the given grammar is a CLR grammar. Okay, grammar, let me write it over here only. Okay, so now we have completed the answer, so you just have to like take a screenshot now. So let me just show you the first sheet first of all. So this was the first sheet, you can take a screenshot. Okay, so now for the second sheet where we completed the states. Okay, so now after this what we did was we wrote the photograph and we filled the CLR or LR1 parsing table with the shift and reduce entries, and we gave the conclusion. Okay, so thank you guys for watching the video. Do like, share and subscribe. Also comment down below if you are having any doubts. I have shared the playlist link inside the description box. You can go and directly access them, and you can make notes out of it which would really help you out in the exam preparation. And if you solve those with me, you can become a pro for sure. So see you all in the next video. Till then, study more, worry less, and all the best for your upcoming exams. Bye bye.